Welcome to Section 1A, Grants 101 of Module 1, Getting Ready to Write the Grant Proposal. What is a grant? A grant is a way for federal, state, local government, or foundations to provide funding for a particular purpose. The group providing the funding is called the funder. Sometimes the funder knows exactly what they want. They ask organizations to show that they can do this particular project. This is called a bid or a contract. Other times the funder has priorities, things they consider important, and asks organizations for their ideas for projects to address the priorities. In this case, a funder asks for a grant application or proposal. Grants are usually for a specific priority. They are rarely just for the general operating expenses of an organization or agency. This means the funding must be used for that project. The State Council is asking for your grant proposals on how to address their priorities for the Program Development Cycle 43. Writing a strong grant proposal. A good idea is essential to a strong grant proposal, but a good idea alone isn't enough. There are several steps in putting together a successful proposal. The first is getting to know the RFP. The RFP is your guide to getting started. Therefore, it is very important to read and understand the RFP. The RFP tells you the history of the funding, the priorities of the funding, who can apply, general information including how to get more information and important dates. It tells you the requirement of the grant proposal, including sections to be included, format, things like font size, line spacing, page margins, length. There may be page limits for the project narrative and sometimes for the entire grant. Required attachments. It tells you how to submit the proposal, how the proposals will be scored, and frequently includes a checklist for everything that must be submitted. The RFP will identify the funder's priorities. It will include the deadline for the proposal, as well as the amount of funding available and how it will be divided. For example, the RFP may say they will fund 2 grants at $10,000 per grant, or it may say that the funder will provide $20,000 funding. This may go to 1 grant or can be divided amongst more than 1 grant. In some cases, the funder doesn't tell you a limit for the funding. This ends Section 1A. Please proceed to Section 1B.